Hello, I am Christos Emmanouil, and I love you. I have the most epic story to share with you. I'm so honored to be a part of this. The scope of what we're doing is never even before imagined. I'm using a screen recorder to document the episodes, so sorry about the quality of the recording. We are currently on part 3. This video will just be a compilation of the episodes from part 1. But to give you an idea of how epic this story is going to get, in part 3, we just blew up an AI homeworld in the astral realm, which damaged the AI homeworld in the physical realm enough to be destroyed 99% easier than the last 10 that have ever been destroyed in all of existence, with 87% less casualties on average than the other 10 that have been destroyed. Together we destroyed the 11th, and there's 8,332 to go. I would like to make a very serious note. 99% easier with 87% less casualties still amounted to 123 billion casualties to take out this planet. We are finally ridding the universe of all AI, of all negative entities, of everything. We are resetting the cycle, all of it. I'll give you a little bit of backdrop to the story. I grew up in Northern Ontario, Christian background until I found spirituality. Jesus still rocks. Great friend of mine now. And I'm a skateboarder, snowboarder. I was a truck driver, raver, DJ. A lot of great fun in my life, but also a lot of great turmoil and struggle. I've had a lot of addictions. I've had self-sabotage and procrastination, and I was just really, really good at shooting myself in the foot. I'm sure a lot of people can identify. And I learned that it's not exactly my own shortcomings, and there was a very real effort to keep me from discovering who I am by the negative entities of the planet. More importantly, my power. This story starts out as an astral projection story. And in my studies, I came across the power of mushrooms, and I did a lot of study on it. And one of the main things I learned is when you do really large doses, it literally grows new neurological pathways in your brain. I had followed a specific schedule, and over a 3-month period, I had grown just enough neurological pathways to very minutely activate telepathy within myself. Then the story just gets even nuts. I'm going to shut up and I'm just going to start going through the episodes. I hope you enjoy them because this is just epic. I can't wait for this to be made into a movie one day. I'm just going to keep my mouth closed now and let you enjoy the show. Thank you very much for coming. Please share the story. It is chronologically listed in the announcements tab of Emmanouil's Alliance. And like I said, this is just going to be a recap of part 1. It'll probably be about an hour-long video, give or take. Enjoy the show. After the commercial, of course.
Update July 25, 20th. The purpose of this alliance is growing exponentially. We just learned how to transform negative entities back into the light. A major blow today in the spiritual war that we are most definitely winning. Down arrow, purpose of this group, down arrow, down arrow. In addition to astral projection, this forum is also open to metaphysics, consciousness, creation, spirituality, suppressed knowledge and history, and every similar conversation because they're all relevant to our spiritual growth. All is one. Smiling face with sunglasses. How Emmanouil's alliance began. I discovered that I was being prevented, distracted, blocked, and restricted from astral projecting. Then it got really serious when I finally realized it wasn't my own shortcomings preventing me and I was under some kind of spiritual attack. So I established Emmanouil's alliance. If I'm having unforeseen difficulties and unexplainable distractions, I imagine others are too. Preventing good people from the power of astral projection, it's probably a really smart plan for the negative entities of the planet to execute. There is a spiritual war going on after all. What's more spiritually empowering than astral projection? We can scientifically measure the power of our collective consciousness during mass meditation in the Schumann resonance, and it actually reduces crime and violence very significantly. So imagine how much more we could accomplish if we were doing it from both sides. Now, if only 7,000 people can affect the global crime rate with the power of their united consciousness, imagine if we grow Emmanouil's alliance to 1 million plus and did it on rotation 24 hours a day. Smiling face with sunglasses, we would take this world back so fast it'll make their heads spin. I believe we could greatly accelerate the inevitable shift of power from the dark to the light, in addition to soothing and healing the earth at the same time as it goes through its fourth density birth pains, which are greatly exacerbated by the mass consciousness. I thinks it sounds pretty cool to be an astral superhero, so to speak. We could find specific areas and people in need and surround the negative entities and save whoever they are tormenting just by simply projecting our love and light into their environment, taking away their ability to function. So I invite each and every one of you to join Emmanouil's alliance. Let's do this together. I am Christos Emmanouil and I love you. Blessings. Smiling face with sunglasses. Update: the concept for this forum is growing. I discovered how to find other living incarnations of ourselves. Learn how and bring them together here. Share your stories of your success along the way. This alliance is brand new, but I'm already learning so much from everybody. It was Lana Nation who taught me how to obtain information the higher self through muscle testing. We spent a couple hours together on Messenger training my newfound telepathy. We've never met, didn't even know where she lives, but I was still able to figure out that she lives in a single family 3-bedroom home and she has a couple spirit pets living with her and a fish tank. I didn't catch the tank was empty, but I was right about her having one. I figured out she was wearing a dress and reading glasses with no shoes on and was communicating with me from the main living area. The master bedroom I made some mistakes on, but I was right the first time that she has a king-size bed and the ceiling fan, plus the window is north-facing with a tree outside and it was on a second-story floor. I also got correct that her kitchen has a window facing east looking at a neighboring wall, and there's a table and 4 chairs in the kitchen, and also that her dinner plates were white and over 25 years old. Invaluable reoccurring lesson is how complex questions really are and how specific you need to be about what you were asking. The slightest variables will divide the answers, like this sine wave. Meanwhile, my wife and I just figured out that we've had 33 lifetimes together and we used to be a Viking king and queen. I was the queen. Woman dancing face with tears of joy.
Emmanouil, and I love you. Hey, I am Christos Emmanouil, and I love you. We've heard for a long time that it's going to be so great that we will come together in ways that we never thought possible. I have realized one of those ways. I learned the little psychic trick, the muscle test. You've probably seen the video. I'll put it in the comments. But through that, I started, let's investigate our past lives. And I found myself all over the place. And somebody told me how to figure out how many past lives you had. And the number was 266, but I've since learned it's 266 living right now. Past lives are in addition to that. It's crazy. So, Emmanouil's alliance is not only going to be for astral projection, we are going to bring together our higher selves. Could you imagine if you found every living incarnation of yourself on the planet right now, and we're all working together on that kind of a level? What? Since this started, names are just coming in my head. I was like looking at so many photos of myself in different lifetimes, and they all kind of look like me. I'm like, I gotta see what somebody else looks like, because this is getting too crazy. I'm spinning my head by looking at myself too much. So I go on Google and I type in random people and I roll it like a slot machine, and I go, and I'm like, see, this guy's not gonna look. Oh no. And I did the little muscle test. It turns out this guy's another incarnation of me. Just found him like that. Like I just won 10 lotteries for the odds of that to happen. But anyways, this story just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. For example, that number 266, for some reason I just thought to check on that number. I don't know why, and I just thought to check out at the right time, and another one of us was born. It's actually 267 now. It's so weird. So, also with Emmanouil's Alliance, not only can we learn a lot about our consciousness and how to elevate ourselves and raise our vibration and astral project and all the spiritual greatness that comes with it, but I think it's also could be a good platform for us to bring the incarnations of our higher selves together. I mean, what a great little circle of friends that would be. Anyways, we'll talk more about some really cool stories later on. I just wanted to put that thought in your head. Blessings.
Now, bear with me for a second. I'm going to try to clean up the sound quality a little bit. But notice that little blurp in the end there, that little tongue twister. Well, that's a very important part of this story. And upon realizing what caused that, I had taken an action that, well, you're about to find out. I just want to get rid of that high-pitched hiss. Hopefully this sounds a little bit better for you. Okay, back to the show. This is the most important episode right here. And it's all a result of that little stutter. And everything has changed just because of that little stutter.
I am literally in esoteric jail for 24 hours. Sounds funny, but I am ashamed of how I got here. I abused the strength of my newfound power, not realizing the magnitude of it, and I killed 2 negative entities as I removed them. At first I was just having fun expelling them with the force of my chi into deep space way out beyond the universe, where they'll never be seen by this galaxy ever again. 1 second they're just going about their normal business messing with thought patterns undetected, then the next second those little buggers were like, where the fuck am I? It was insanely hilarious how that's what I decided to do with my power upon discovering it. God said the whole universe was laughing their asses off with me. It really was funny. Even funnier as others tried to enter thinking I couldn't detect them, and I'd say, "Hi, how are you? Wanna go for a ride?" I'd let them enjoy a few seconds of confusion, then, poof. However, I found out one of them tried to embarrass me on my first live Emmanouil's Alliance video. I asked God if they were still with me. God said yes, so I didn't just expel them to the other side of the infiniverse. I picked a different direction and blew them through the earth and out the other side through every star, black hole, and piece of dust in the universe I could find, and beyond infiniverses of multiverses. I just kept going and going. I pushed them harder and faster until they broke apart into little bits of nothingness, like space garbage does when it enters the atmosphere as it falls to the earth. When I was over, I felt like a predator looming over its prey after making the kill, haunting the carcass adrenalized with death. I literally touched the dark side and experienced pure evil unlike anything I've ever experienced. Viciousness lingered in my eyes as the deep growl within my throat began to ease. Then shame for what I had done. I asked God if that really happened, or was it all in my head. God confirmed with disappointment and has not spoken to me since. My telepathic coach confirmed I had been cut off for 24 hours. I can't get any answers or any information from my God whatsoever now. I do not share this story to boast of my newfound power. I share this story to warn you that when you discover your power, be careful with it, because you are way more powerful than you could possibly imagine. It is something to be taken seriously and used responsibly. I just got here. I have only been conversing openly with God for a few days. Even though I'll only be cut off for only 24 hours, not having a connection of this magnitude after missing it my whole life feels like an extremely long time, because it is. When you realize your power, it will be as if you are Neo in the Matrix in the stopping bullets scene, literally. Please be responsible with it. This has been one of the biggest lessons of my life, and I wanted to share it to help others through their ascension and save people from the consequences of an irresponsible use of power. Join us at Emmanouil's Alliance, the new front line of the spiritual war which we are now winning. Blessings. Folded hands, pensive face.
Now, I'd like to point out, as I'm saying, speaking to God, this was when I was leaving the old indoctrinated definition of God as being a separate personality from us that we can converse with. The truth is, I'm talking with my higher self. The thing we call God is everyone and everything in existence experiencing itself as everything. So every word out of everybody is the word of God. But anyways, I just wanted to make that distinction because people are coming into this video with many different beliefs, and I just want to keep it on the level. It's my higher self I'm talking to, and you can do it too.
Update on being in esoteric jail for 24 hours. See last post for the storyline. I believe I'm getting really good at transforming limitation into freedom now. This is, after all, is the purpose of life. This experience not only taught me about discipline and respect for my power, but it also gave me idea as a result of my wife's suggestion. Instead of humans being food for negative entities, we could turn ourselves into filters to bring them back into the light they once were. The negative side is aware I have been cut off of my higher self and I have been under spiritual attack all day. My higher self might not be talking to me, but I still have all my senses and abilities other than the communication, so I can still detect them when they're trying to enter. Then my wife shared this meme with me which got the wheels going on how I can turn negative entities back into benevolent ones. So the very next time I felt one sneaking its way inside of me, I greeted it with love and then I spun it into a ball of light so hard that its dark and light would be separated. I then exhaled the light into the universe, followed by letting go of the dark energy which remained as nothing more than ashes. Spiritual attack has stopped and I have not sensed anything try to invade my space since. Can't believe how much I'm learning every day. A quote from Bashar has been playing over and over in my mind. Very soon society is going to realizing that what we always thought of as fairy tale is actually the way life works. And science is getting closer to catching up every day. Thank you, Lord, for this lesson. Folded hands, smiling face with halo.
I'll let you read this meme here for a second if you want to pause the video. This is my wife sent me this, and that is what gave me the idea for using my body as a filter to transform the dark back into the light.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Emmanouil. I love you. Apologies for the drunken rap. That half-hour long video of me going off. I had just gotten back from the bar. I had a little bit of a buzz, and I was really ecstatic that I got back my communication with the higher self. That's kind of the point I was trying to get at, but my brain went a million different ways. But hey, whatever. So yeah, I got the ability back, and super happy about it. And it's been really cool because, like I keep saying and keep hearing, the purpose of life is to transform limitation into freedom. So I've discovered not only can I remove negative entities from myself, and Jesus is awesome too, and he's been helping me. The other day when I was cut off from communication with the higher self, I was under attack the whole day. My body has a tell. I'll have a little twitch in the eye right here, and it'll twitch when a negative entity is trying to go into me. And I've had that twitch my whole life, never knew what it was until I started asking the right questions. So I discovered that not only can I cleanse myself of them, but I inadvertently was irresponsible with my power, and I killed 2 negative entities the other day, and that's what led to God saying, you're cut off. And I literally was cut off for 24 hours. I couldn't get any information. I could say I'm a Barbie doll, and I'd get a yes. It didn't matter what question I asked, I got no information. So you may have seen the meme I posted, the little purple one. My wife sent me that, and that led to the idea of, okay, now if I can take these negative entities out of me, maybe I can do more. Maybe I can transform them. Maybe I can separate them from the darkness within them. Maybe they were once positive. I don't know. Started asking questions for the higher self, and it turns out most of them were once positive. So what I do is if I feel them coming in or check it in, let's see, I have negative entities in me. So see this finger stiff, right? I do not have negative entities in me. Oh, my finger goes down. It's really weak. This is how you communicate with your higher self. This is literally talking to God, all right? The other way is like this, finger, loop, right? I have negative entities in me. Pull, it doesn't break. I do not have negative entities in me. Oh, no strength whatsoever, okay? So what you do, what you visualize is actually happening in the esoteric realm and in your energy field around you. So what you do, take a breath with your chi, suck everything into the center of you, and start spinning it like a light inside of you, right in your lungs. spin it faster and faster and faster, and visualize the light going around faster than the speed of light, so fast that you separate the light from the darkness, and visualize the light running around the outside, inside your body, and the darkness accumulating as a ball in the middle, a dead ball of ash. And then you gently exhale the light, and then let go of the dead ash. And I've confirmed with my higher self, am I actually doing this, or am I imagining it? And I get confirmation every time. Have I cleaned energies today, made them from negative into positive? Yes. Okay, good luck. I have not done anything, and it's all in my head. I got no strength saying that. Right? And you can do it too. If you're going to ask about other people, you do need their permission, just so you know. But yeah, so I was in the shower, and I felt a little twitch in the eye. And so I said, hey, negative entity, how you doing? I love you. And I felt it quickly scurry out, and then I did the test. Oh, he's gone. Another one came back, and I just sucked him in. Started spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And apparently, I found out afterwards, it was a whole bunch at once that came in. So I started spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And I get euphoric when I do it. And then I exhaled the light. I excreted the ash down the drain. And then I asked my higher self, I says, did I just make those negative entities happy? Yes. Is it all in my head? No, I get pretty weak. And then, right then, I got goosebumps. I'm in a steaming hot shower. I like my showers hot. Never had goosebumps in the shower before. I got goosebumps head to toe. And I already know from experiences with the spirit guides that when an entity that you can't see touches you, you'll get goosebumps. And I got them huge goosebumps all over my body. And I asked the higher self, I says, those reborn entities are hugging me right now. You're not hugging me. So that was really cool. And I'm starting to realize how big of a power this is, because there's all these negative entities going around, screwing with people, interfering with their thoughts, trying to get us to do stupid things, right? So now we can take those negative entities and use our bodies as filters and filter them back to the light, because most of them probably were benevolent entities once upon a time, and they got caught into being slaves somehow. I have no idea. But you can transform them, you can excrete them yourself, and if you're not sure, you can always call upon Jesus, and he's there like that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm extremely happy to have this ability back. I was really, really ashamed that I abused it and killed two entities. It was what I saw in that moment. You read the post. I don't need to describe it more than that. It was really awful, and especially the demeanor I had on me afterwards was something I never want to experience again. But anyways, I'm back, baby. So if you haven't seen it, go down the wall, click on the muscle test video so you can learn how to do that. It's very simple. When you speak something that is true, you're physically stronger. When you speak something that is false, you're physically weaker. So I am Christos Emmanouil, right? Lock, lock, lock. I am Christos Emmanouil. Pull. I'm good. I am currently this jar. I got no strength. Okay? And the other way you do it is middle finger on top, push it down. So I am Christos. It's good and strong, right? It's not going to move. I am a girl right now. I think it just drops, right? So use this knowledge for good. You are way more powerful than you realize. So you have the ability not only to cleanse yourself of negative entities, but you have the ability to clean them and excrete them as positive, benevolent entities. I've calculated I got over 100 reborn entities flying around my house protecting me now. So it's not like I'm just cleaning them and they're going. Now they're on my side and your side. So anyways, I'm going to try to keep these videos short. I love you. Have a great day. Hello, I'm Christos Emmanouil, and I love you. Just want to give you a quick update, because I'm learning all this as I go, so I'm just going to share it all with you, and hopefully it helps you along in your journey. I had just gotten cut off yesterday, then I got it back today, and then I had a cigarette. Now I'm cut off again. Once you realize the power, you're a lot more accountable for everything you do. And there's consequences for everything. So, that just made quitting smoking a hell of a lot easier. Wish you well.
This is an important episode here.
Emmanouil here. I love you. So, quick. Hi, Christos Emmanouil here. I love you. So, quick update. I had gotten cut off because I smoked a cigarette, and my telepathic coach said, "No, I smoke too." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I've been smoking the whole time too, but I guess now that, I've reached a higher level of realization, maybe I'm more accountable." And she said, "No, you're still open." I says, "But I can't get anything. I get nothing." So she says, "Well, do you feel bad about smoking?" And I says, "Yeah, I've always felt really bad about it." And she says, "Well, stop feeling bad about it." So immediately I said, "Okay, I forgive myself." And immediately I got a communication from the higher self, like instant acknowledgement. But then it was gone. So I was like, okay, well, I got an acknowledgement about the forgiveness, but I'm still cut off. She says, "Do you still feel bad?" I says, "Yeah." She says, "Well, basically you forgave yourself, stop feeling bad." And then it was immediately back. So anyways, in other news of cleaning the entities out of us, I just cleaned the whole neighborhood, and I started something. It's really cool. This thing I figured out about how to spin the entities, and you separate the dark from the light and expel them as positive entities, and take the negative and expel it as ash. So I've taken that to a whole new level, and I thought, well, I wonder if I can clean the whole neighborhood in this immediate surrounding area. And I did. I'm way exhausted now. But while it was happening, my son all of a sudden started crying. He pinched his finger on something like that. And I almost stopped, and, when his son cries, you want to go, right? So, but I didn't stop, and I kept doing it, and I finished the cleansing. I almost passed out. And then I tended to my son and kissed his finger, and I thought, I wonder if that was an intentional distraction. And I asked the higher self, and sure enough, it was. And I tried to conflict it and say, no, my son just hurt himself because he's a 4-year-old kid. Nope, it was an intentional distraction. Yep. And I also thought, okay, did I just start something, or are there other people doing this? And at first, the answers I got was, I really just started doing this whole thing of inventing. You can use your body to filter the entities. I'm sure other people are doing it in some way, shape, or form, many ways probably, but this is a new way, I guess. And then I got a confliction on that answer. And a thought was put in my head, when somebody invents something like a technology as society advances, it could be invented on one side of the planet, but throughout history, there's a lot of examples where once somebody invents something here, the other side of the planet, somebody else will also come up with the same idea, because we are all connected. We are all one global consciousness. So now, because I've started it, I'm getting positive answers that other people have discovered this and are doing it too. It gets even better. The negative entities, they weren't always all bad, and they are literally lining up to be cleansed. And it sounds ludicrous, but I asked, I said, is there confliction within me between the higher entities? And the answer I got was yes. And I says, and I tried to conflict it, and then I got a no. So basically, they're showing up saying, hey, we got a way out of this miserable slavery now. And what I'm getting at is, I caused a division between all the negative entities of the world. They've ruled us by divide and conquer. Well, we just turned it around on them. And I don't know what's. I can't wait to see the Schumann resonance actually and see if I did anything there, because twice I've actually put a mark on the Schumann resonance from doing these kinds of things. But anyways, I'm gonna try to keep these videos short. I just want to keep you updated. I'm gonna keep posting videos as it goes, because this is a crazy experience, and I just want to share it all with you and help you guys get involved, help you learn how to talk to your higher self. The muscle test is very simple. I just think it's been really underestimated. And my coach told me, she's like, I've never seen anybody take it to the level I did. But we all can. It's a really powerful tool. Anyways, love you lots. Have a great day.
Just for clarification, while this video was going on, just so I can give you accurate information, I just received confirmation that 95% of all the negative entities in existence are actually slaves. And, just like zombies in a movie, they were all people too once, and they've been robbed of incarnated experience for a very long time. They have not been able to incarnate and actually have a life because they were caught up in this slavery. I have no idea how it happened, but the fact that we can rescue them now is just beyond all scope, something I never expected. This gentleman is a member of my meat tree, and he has been doing muscle testing for a lot longer than I have. So it felt really good because at this point I'm starting to question my sanity. So it was really refreshing to have a couple more people come on the team and be able to confirm everything with their higher self through muscle testing and other forms of communication that they use.
Hi, this is Jake Marion with a message to Emmanouil's Alliance. So something happened today that's really, it's beyond what my conscious mind can understand, but because we do muscle testing, we've learned to trust our subconscious mind, our higher selves. And the story goes back 13 years ago when I was in a very low vibrational state in my life, a lot of horrible things happening. I picked up a demon entity called Lilith, and Lilith has messed with my marriage. Lilith has not been kind to me and made it hard to live this life as a married man. Lilith tempted me with just to sin and to disobey Jesus. So when I found out Chris Batos was doing a spin technique with the intention of whirling the light out of a demon entity and releasing it, leaving a ball of dark energy that could just be discarded, and releasing the demon entity transmuted from dark to light, I decided we'd try it with this demon Lilith, who is apparently quite ranks very high in the demon realm. So I got on a video call with on Facebook chat with Chris, with Batos, and I visualized a ball of light spinning in front of me, kind of in front of my body, and a golden tornado kind of forming out of that ball of light, leaving a black ball in the middle. The golden tornado, I visualized it rising up above me, above my head, releasing it. And then I visualized throwing that black ball away from me and having it land on my floor and shattering into ashes. And after muscle testing, we determined that Lilith, this apparently high demon, mother of all demons, has been transmuted from dark to light. If we can do this with more demons, especially powerful ones like this, infamous ones, imagine the good that'll happen and the evil that'll be prevented from doing this. According to Chris, these demons want to be free. They want the darkness removed from them. They want to be freed as light. They want to get back to source. They're tired of being slaves to evil. So if we can, if a few of us can learn this technique from Chris, imagine the great things we can do in the spiritual realm to spread love and to destroy everything that opposes love. Again, just imagine how powerful a change we could create using this. It's 2 a.m. here in Nova Scotia. I am going to bed. Good night, all. And love and peace to all of you. They say in Spanish, vaya con Dios. Go with God, go with Source. Bye for now.
You know, I have to tell you, I personally thought that it was a trick and he might be being misled, but no, he really did clean Lilith on his first attempt with the power of his own intention and beliefs, and this demonic demon has been rescued and is no longer forced to be an evil sack of shit ruining people's lives. I can't wait to find out how that happened. How did all these fallen angels and demons and stuff end up being scooped up from being benevolent people just like us and being forced into this kind of slavery and being robbed of the privilege of incarnation? I can't wait to find all that out. But yeah, I thought it was kind of a trick because there's been a few tricks along the way by the negative entities, but it wasn't. He transformed Lilith and took all the darkness out of her, and she is now a rescued angel. Amazing.
Hello, everybody. I'm Emmanouil, and I love you. Started something incredible. I didn't plan on it. I didn't intend on it. I just ended up here through asking God the right questions. Maybe questions nobody thought to ask. There's negative entities and negative energies at work in our world. You can't see them with your eyes, but you can feel them in your thoughts. You can feel them in your self-sabotage. You can feel them in your procrastination. You can feel them in your temptation. That's where all that comes from. And I've learned how to transform them from the dark to the light. I'm calling it the Beethoven effect. See if I'm allowed to do that. It all started just with learning the muscle test. And, it was amazing. And I asked my coach if it's just reflecting my beliefs. And then I tried to test that. And it's not just reflecting my beliefs. It will tell me the right answers you want to know, as long as you're asking the right questions. And then that led to discovering what I call the new tree, other living incarnations of yourself that are out there in abundance. Now that I've put my consciousness onto attracting those kind of people to me, I'm actually getting random friend requests from people that are complete strangers, and then I'll do the test and I'll be like, oh, there's another one of my 267. I have 267 living incarnations of me right now. And I'm easily finding them, and they're finding me without even knowing it. So I think maybe the muscle test was really underestimated, and I started asking really big questions. And I started asking about my abilities, how much power I really had. The higher self kind of showed me. This Beethoven effect, it started with the muscle test. I used the muscle test to gain information. And after a couple of days of talking to God nonstop, I felt it in my brain. I was mentally exhausted, flexing a muscle I'd never used before for that level of telepathy. And then I realized I can flex that muscle in other ways. And I asked, can I clean these entities out of me myself? And I got a yes. So I just visualized it like I explained before. I visualized sucking all the energies and entities into the middle of my lungs, spinning it at the speed of light, sucking the black out of it into a ball of ash in the middle, and all the light energies left over would be spinning around the outside. Gently excrete the light to the universe and expel the ash to the ground. And I asked the higher self, did I actually do this? Or, and I didn't need Jesus' help for it. I learned a lot about him through this too, actually. He's awesome. So, after learning how to expel them myself, I started having fun with it. And for a while, it was kind of hilarious. What I did upon discovering my new power was sending them right across the universe. It was hilarious. And then another one would sneak in and I would greet it. I'd say, hi, negative entity, how you doing? I'd sense it's confused and he'd try to scurry away and grab him and throw him across the universe. Oh, it was funny. There was so many entities laughing with me, I could just feel it. But then on my first Emmanouil's Alliance video, one of them tried to embarrass me. And I thought nothing of it at first, but when I found out, I asked the higher self, I said, is he still in there? It's like, you little bugger. So instead of just sending them off into the other side of the universe, I put them down through the Earth, out the other side, through every black hole, star, and speck of dust I could find in the universe, and I just kept pushing faster and harder until they broke apart like space garbage falling back to the Earth. And I felt really evil after. I felt really bad. And I confirmed with God. I asked the higher self, I said, did I really just do that? I sensed the disappointment. Yeah, you did. And then he wouldn't talk to me for 24 hours. But such is the purpose of life, to transform limitation into freedom. I took that limitation and I thought, well, my wife put an idea in my head about transforming dark into light. So I thought, well, what if I can transform actual entities, use my body as a filter to transform them back to the light? So when I got my abilities back, I tried that, and it worked. And then I did it again and again, and before I knew it, they were lining up to come into me and be clean. Like, these negative entities, we don't know where they're really from or what their story is, but just like zombies in a movie, they were all people once upon a time. So what if these negative entities affecting our thoughts, they were people once upon a time too, and somehow got trapped into slavery maybe. Then I took it to the next level. I was in the shower, and I figured out afterwards that I cleaned about 10 of them at once. And I like my showers hot, and all of a sudden I got all these goosebumps, and I asked the higher self, I said, are they hugging me? And God was like, yeah, they're expressing their gratitude. He just saved a whole bunch of entities. So I thought, I'm going to clean the neighborhood, see how far we can take this power. And I got in the zone. I started flexing my chi and visualized it right here in this area. The light going around, excreting the black into the middle. And when I really started to put my strength into it, and I just really started to get going, and I was hurting my brain, I was pushing so hard. And as soon as I really started to push hard, something happened to my son. He pinched his finger on something, and he's just crying and screaming, and trying to distract me and yanking on my shirt. But I knew it was a distraction. I wouldn't stop. And then afterwards, I almost passed out. I felt a huge cleanliness happen in the whole neighborhood, just so euphoric. And then I tended to my son, kissed his finger and whatnot. And I asked the higher self, was that an intentional distraction? And God was like, oh yeah. And I was like, and you always got to conflict everything you state. You got to always compare it to the opposite. And I said, no, nothing happened. It's just my son hurt himself because he's 4. And the answer I got was, no, you were trying to be stopped. So the cool part is, like I was saying in the other video, is when something starts on one side of the planet, it goes through the collective consciousness. And I can't really do anything today because I burnt myself out for a few days. But I did get information that I did start something. Other people have just realized this relatively at the same time because I instigated it. And I don't know about you. When I woke up this morning, the world seemed a little bit peaceful, a little bit more quiet. The sky is clear for the first time in the entire summer. Seen a few chemtrail planes go by. You can always tell the difference in the tail. But the tail of these ones dissipated into nothing instead of dissipated into clouds. But it wasn't quite contrail because it was way too long for the time of year. And plus there was another actual commercial plane in the sky just not too far from it. So you got one plane with a big trail and another plane with no trail. It's kind of obvious. But anyways, I don't want to get into that too much. My focus is Betos effect. We are not only liberating our world, but by learning how to do this, we are liberating all the negative entities that have been used as slaves against us all throughout the last 2,000 years or more worth of history. And I can feel them in my neighborhood waiting for me to stir them out. I'm too weak today. But please share this video. Get the message out there that we have this power. Learn how to do the muscle test and communicate with your higher self and confirm that you're actually doing these things. And if you're not, you will get the right answer. Like, your higher self is not going to lie to you, And it's really cool. When I started this, I found another incarnation of myself that was already on my friend list, and I contacted him about it and told him what's going on. He's like, well, I have a really hard time believing it, But I've been doing the muscle test forever, and it confirmed everything I said. So learn the muscle test, start communicating with your higher self, start asking the big questions about who and what you are, start finding the other incarnations of yourself. Let's group them all together and really work together in a way we never thought we could. That's all I got to say for now. I just want to kind of put the story out there about how it happened. It's such a beautiful thing. I know it's already spreading around the world, whether anybody shares this video or not. But thank you for being a part of Emmanouil's Alliance. Please share this group, because since I've started sharing it, there's not much action on the wall, but I'm getting a lot of private messages from people that got crazy stories to share as well. So it ain't just me. So this is the new norm. I love you guys.
Now, I'd like to point out, this was taken on July 30th. Oh, July 26th? Interesting. But around that time was basically the equilibrium of the split between the 3D reality and the 5D reality. And now I'm on the 5D Earth, but we can still see the 3D Earth, and I'm still seeing the same chemtrail planes going around. I took a little picture of one this morning, and the trails are coming out of them, but they're disappearing into nothing. They are not affecting this 5D Earth at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, synchronistically, I came across this photo when I was trying to understand exactly what it is that I'm doing inside of myself. And then I came across this photo. I'm like, that's it exactly. The magnetic ring would be a representation of the negative entities that I am spinning into a vortex. And just like a vortex where the solid is on the outside, say like a water vortex, the water is on the outside and the air is in the middle. So in my case, the dark entities are spinning around the outside and they're spinning into a golden light, and the darkness within them gravitates towards the center and accumulates just as a ball of ash. And it's really amazing how synchronicity has had such a huge play in everything that's going on, because I was really confused about what I was doing and starting to question it, and then boom, this popped up on my newsfeed. I was like, thank you so much, I really needed that.
I am Christos Emmanouil, and I love you. So, I said I would keep these videos going, make them as it happens. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky, I'm very weak, kind of drained right now. Okay, so, walking to go to my car with my son. He's carrying a water bottle, I'm holding his hand, and I just started imagining making a vortex in this area behind me. Just slightly, just gently, right? Just doing it all nonchalant while walking out along with my son. And it's like, once you discover this way to flex your brain, you can do it really easy. So I just kind of warmed it up a bit, and the second I started to flex it and really make it go light speed, I put into it. Oh, we gotta slow down. Gotta be careful about what I think, because that's actually doing stuff. But the second I started to turn on the volume, my son tripped on nothing and scraped his knee real bad and broke concentration. Obviously, it ended for all of them there. But last time when I did a big mass cleansing, same thing happened. As soon as I started to flex the muscle in my brain, he instantly pinched his finger on something, on a lamp. Like, how do you pinch your finger on a lamp? You know, my son's not clumsy, and you just tripped on nothing, you know. But anyways, so I was like, okay, I gotta be very careful now, because I'm not gonna be doing anything like this around my family anymore. So we go to the play park, pick up my friend, and they're playing along, and I got an idea. And again, I sensed this idea, once I done it, it's spreading through the mass consciousness. I decided to put a sphere around the play park. And I picked a point and I went out from it and just went boom. I was about 60 feet around, maybe a little more from the center. I was just about off center, 20 feet from the center. And I
I forgot. I left part of the story out. Those entities that I used to fire off into space when I thought it was a big joke before I made an idiot of myself over it, I brought them back first. And I made sure that my son was on flat ground where he couldn't hurt himself while I was doing it, right? And then I just started to spin those to separate their darkness and light. And I look over and my son's just getting up the monkey bars. I said, nah, he brought him back. That's enough for now, right? So then that's what gave me the idea of making the sphere. So I made the sphere from the center out, and I built it. I spent a good 5 minutes building it, making it solid and visualizing it really intensely. And then I realized, well, I'm thinking 3D. I'm not 3D anymore. I got to go down into the earth too. I only did it from the ground up. So I had to spend another 5 minutes building the bottom half of the sphere that I forgot about. And a few times I left a hole in the bottom. So anything that was left, I gave a chance to get out. And I went from that center point out just until the shell and left them room to get out. And I said, that door's closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, closed. And then I anchored it into the ground and tried to attach it to the planet so, the grass and the kids and the energy of the area keep it alive. So I sent a message to my coach and the other incarnation of me that also does the muscle testing, and they speak very well to their higher selves. And without me telling them, they both told me that, I created a sphere that was, one said 50 feet, one said 59 feet, but I was off center, but still. And we got into the details of it, but I don't know, I'm just totally drained from doing this. So now on the way back, I'm like, I gotta stop flexing my brain, but I'm holding a bubble around my house right now. So I gotta learn how to control it. But welcome to the fourth density. We have a lot of control over everything you can't see, which is why I'm so grateful to have my coach, Lana, and my brother, Jake, that I get to bounce all these off of to make sure that I'm not an insane person, because I know this sounds insane for you, but just imagine how it is for me. So, but yeah, just before I started this video, I'm a little extra tired because I did that cleansing right here for these guys that have been waiting all day. I imagine it's really crowded above me. There's like so many entities that are right in front of us. They're with us. Before all this craziness happened, I learned that, our dead pets and relatives and stuff, they're visiting us if they haven't already reincarnated somewhere else. But yeah, they're with you. My dog Scotia's here. I've gotten higher self-confirmation for that. My bird Jojo. And for a while, too much private information. Anyways, I just wanted to share the story with you. I'll try to keep the videos short, but this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. Once you have that realization and once you wake up, please be careful with your power. So please cleanse your thoughts and monitor your thoughts, because what happens is you're going to start manifesting stuff really fast. I'm starting to see that too, especially karma. Countable like crazy. I am Christos Emmanouil, and I love you.
Now, things are about to pick up a notch, where I get into direct battles with one of the main fallen angels that have been working with the earth for a while. But a few more details before we get there. After a short commercial, of course. Are you guys having fun? Man, this gets epic.
Part 1, Episode 9. We have crossed the event equilibrium. Well, there she goes, the most powerful moment of my life. Who knows what's next? That last spike is what it looks like when the power of one person's consciousness is transmitted through the collective consciousness and carried on like one person starting a wave in a stadium. It's odd how I lost my ability to empty and it hasn't come back since. I've had to rely solely on others' ability to communicate with the higher self for confirmation that we did anything at all together. But our actions were not only confirmed, they were confirmed with enthusiasm. It really is like an actual new muscle in the brain that's never been flexed before. I guess it's going to take a couple weeks to recover like any other muscle that's been overexerted continuously for extended periods. It's funny how the second I discovered the ability I did kind of do a marathon with it. Hopefully it will be back soon. But my heart goes out to everybody who had very turmoil experiences over the last week, having no clue why they couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, couldn't control their emotions, frustrated, couldn't remember, were dizzy, had headaches, feeling vibrations, ringing in the ears, etc. Some were affected much more than others, some quite severely. May recovery be swift and awakening. As of July 30, 2020, we are a new planet, and every second since we become newer, more beautiful, more friendly, more loving, more of a closer community. We have a mess to clean up, but we will. We have bias laws and greedy systems to correct, and we will. We have remaining hate to let go of, so we will. We have divided relations to mend, and we will mend them. Reality always has been a reflection of our consciousness. But now in a lighter density, your manifestation, and your karma, will manifest much quicker now. We will have lots more to do as disclosure finally approaches. The archaeology, technology, and space boom that encroaches is beyond anyone's imagination. This density of consciousness we just began is favorable for telepathy, telekinesis, levitation, bilocation, astral projection, fast manifestations, and so much more. We already have many examples of these skills in today's society. With training of the pineal gland, there are many examples of children being able to read blindfolded and conduct detailed medical body scans, project their chi, and much more. You chose to incarnate during this specific period of this planet's cycle. Some of you know it, most of you don't. Nevertheless, relish in the experience. It literally is what you make of it, and you now have so much power to do even more than ever before. You are like a snowflake. There is only one of you that will ever be like you. Snowflakes melt very fast. Form your crystal vibrations as high as you can and shine. I am Christos Emmanouil and I love you. Emmanouil's Alliance. Beaming face with smiling eyes.
Now, this here, that black line is, before that is July 29th, and after that is July 30th. So that first big white line way on the left, that was when I was building the sphere around the children's play park. The second one is when I was doing the mass cleansing that was interrupted earlier in the day. And that last one, this is so amazing, and this is what I refer to as the most powerful moment of my life at that point. That last one there, I forget what instigated it, but basically the spiritual attack went up a notch. And like, I'm getting all these entities out of me, but they would just keep coming back, and they would, the attack was just relentless. So I had remembered when I first asked if I could do a group cleansing, I was told I could clean the whole world if I want. So I started small. I was a little intimidated by that knowledge, so I started small and just did the neighborhood. But now I'm like, forget it. We're going to go all the way. And I cleansed the entire country. I visualized as if I was floating above the earth, right where I'm geographically located. And I spread my cyclone or funnel or whatever you call it, and I just grew it across the country, sucking up every fallen angel and every negative spirit and every demon and all of them, and just taking the darkness out of them and releasing them as light beings. And the beauty is, not only did I do it, but this line here that you see, the one that looks like a digital stripe, that is literally the power of my consciousness, belief, and intention being transmitted through the global mass consciousness. And at the time, I've gotten higher self confirmation that approximately 7,000 people have picked up on that transmission, had their own realizations at the exact same time, and did the exact same thing in their own way. This was the day that the old 3D Earth and the new 5D Earth split. This was when the split began. We can still see the old 3D Earth, just like we were talking about the chemtrail planes. We can still see the planes, but they can't affect the 5D Earth and everybody that's on them. That's why their tails disappear now, instead of spreading out into big wide clouds. And I'm sorry for anybody that thinks it's just a commercial airliner. Well, we're in the middle of COVID, okay? There haven't been any planes flying over the city for a while, but it's been really, really busy with those chemtrail planes. So just a little bit of information here. But since this date, you'll hear me say the term Happy New Earth, because it really is a new Earth.
I am Christos Emmanouil, and I love you. I'm very hesitant to make this video because anybody that's seen the previous videos